2024 proved to be a tumultuous year across three regional blocs in the continent which have stoked division and dysfunction. Leaders of the West African regional grouping ECOWAS approved the withdrawal of three countries ruled by the military from the bloc, but offered a 6-month grace period for them to reconsider. Mali, Burkina Faso and Niger plan to withdraw from ECOWAS in January after refusing the bloc's demand to restore democratic rule. The three departing countries were founding members when ECOWAS was established in 1975 to improve economic and political integration in West Africa. So this was a huge blow to what was Africa's most developed trade grouping. Citizens of all ECOWAS countries currently have the right to live and work in all member states, while goods can circulate freely. The Alliance of the Sahel States, or AES from its French acronym, announced visa-free travel and residency rights for ECOWAS citizens. However, the three countries are poor and landlocked, so most migrants move from them to the richer coastal countries in West Africa. West African Bloc is pinning hopes on ambitious superhighway. In the period between 29th of January and 29th of July 2025, the trio can be readmitted to the bloc should they decide to rejoin the community. So far, the military juntas have refused to remain in the bloc despite efforts to persuade them. The other bloc that witnessed widespread division was in the Horn of Africa. For months, a spat between Somalia and Ethiopia had been creeping towards a crisis. In June, Somalia threatened to expel all of Ethiopia's troops from its territory, where they have long spearheaded the regional fight against Al-Shabaab, a jihadist group. By October, Somalia had formed a military alliance with Egypt and Eritrea, Ethiopia's bitterest foes, as Ethiopia's army chief mused openly about arming groups hostile to the Somali government. Many feared the tensions could set off proxy wars and draw in other powers in the vicinity or create a security vacuum in Somalia that Al-Shabaab might exploit. However, after negotiations in Ankara brokered by Turkey, a joint declaration was signed by Abiy Ahmed, Ethiopia's Prime Minister, and Hassan Sheikh Mohamud, Somalia's president, agreeing to leave behind differences and contentious issues. Recep Tayyip Erdogan, Turkey's president, called it a historic reconciliation, but there are reasons to be skeptical. Ethiopia will now seek access to and from the sea under the sovereign authority of the Federal Republic of Somalia. It has also agreed to respect Somalia's territorial integrity. Somalia will provide Ethiopia with an outlet to the sea for trade. In return, Ethiopia has rescinded its offer to recognize Somaliland. And in the south, unrest in Mozambique threatened the Southern African Development Community, or SADC. SADC called for an extraordinary summit to discuss the political unrest in Mozambique. Zimbabwe, the current chair of the Southern African Development Community, hosted the 16-member regional bloc meeting that had no solutions on the ongoing crises in Mozambique. Critics argue SADC has not been up to its task. Mozambique's opposition has criticized SADC's electoral observation mission after it praised the conduct of the electoral process. And finally, the pan-continental body of 55 member states will elect a successor to Musa Faki Mahamat, the head of its executive organ, in February 2025. Three veterans of African politics are in the running for the top job. The candidates in the forthcoming election for African Union Commission Chair are Raila Odinga of Kenya, Mahmoud Ali Yusuf of Djibouti, and Richard Randria Mandrato of Madagascar. On December 13th, the three discussed their visions for the continent in a first-ever election debate broadcast from the AU headquarters in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. All of them addressed the issues of security in Africa, the economic integration of the continent, and AU reforms. The AUC election process requires candidates to secure a two-thirds majority from the AU's 55 member states, a feat that often demands regional alliances and strategic negotiations.